The 79th Tata Steel Chess Tournament began today in Weikanzee on the North Sea coast of the Netherlands, and this is always a highlight of the chess calendar. The tournament always attracts some of the strongest players in the world, but also the organisers managed to gather a really eclectic mix of players in their tournaments. Well, the favourite in the top group is, of course, Magnus Carlsen, world chess champion, but he faces stiff competition. There are three players from his own 1990 generation. Sergei Karyakin, of course, recent challenger for the world's title in November. And he has his compatriots Dmitry Andreikin and Yan Nepomniachtchi. There is previous winner at Vik, Levon Aronian. There are seasoned pros such as Radoslav Wojtaszek, Pavel Ulyanov, Pantara Harikrishna, and Luc van Vele, the Dutchman, enjoying his 25th Tata Steel Chess Tournament. But there are also five players younger than Carlsen. 24-year-old Adiban Baskiran from India, who won last year's Challengers Tournament. There's Anish Giri, 22 years old, one of the strongest players in the world. There's the wild Hungarian Richard Rapport, 20 years old. There's 17-year-old Wei Yi from China. What a prospect for the future he is. And there's 23-year-old Wesley So, the man of the moment. He's really in form, just coming off his victory in the London Chess Classic. So let me give you a quick rundown of the games today, what happened. Harikrishna against Aronian, this is the position. This is one for martial theoreticians. On move 21, Aronian produced a novelty, and the game later ended in a draw after Harikrishna won a pawn but couldn't get anywhere. Then we have Adiban against Van Vele, the Dutchman under pressure for practically the whole game. You can see Adiban had this dangerous pass pawn for most of the game, but Van Vele finally held a draw. Then we had the game between Ulyanov and Rapport. Well, this fourth move gives you a taste of the Hungarian style. He played G5, incredible. Ulyanov reacted very coolly and, well, he played a very fine positional game. At this moment, he made an excellent positional exchange sacrifice and he won an excellent game. Very fine game. Karyakin against Giri. Well, against Giri's Najdorf, Karyakin played this slightly unusual move, A3, but the game went along fairly traditional lines after that. If you want to learn something about positional chess and how to handle the Najdorf with black, then this is a textbook example. You can see that white has some control over d5. If this knight manages to get to d5, then white could be better. Here's a key move, bishop g5, making sure if that knight appears, it gets hacked off. And Giri drew this game without too much trouble, but good game from both players. Wesley So against Magnus Carlsen. This was something of a disappointment. Wesley So didn't challenge the world champion too much, and well, you can see from this position, Carlsen with a few careful moves managed to equalise the position, so that ended in a draw. Wojtaszek against Nepomniachtchi. Well, this is one for Grunfeld theoreticians. Rook c1 and bishop f4, quite a trendy way of handling the Grunfeld, but well, Nepomniachtchi really demonstrated a good answer to this variation. Bishop e6 is also theoretically very hot at the moment, so that's worth looking at. So this game ended in a draw. And finally we have Dmitry Andreikin against Wei Yi. Well, this is a Petrov. Andreikin played a pretty solid line with white, very slightly better. In fact, this was a repeat of the game against Adams against Wang Yue from the Olympiad. But Wei Yi produced a novelty here, stunning rook b8. and managed to hold the game after 55 moves, so that was a draw. So just one decisive game today. That was Ilyanov against Rapport. You can find all the games on chessbase.com, and the pick of tomorrow's pairings, undoubtedly Carlsen against Wojtaszek, the world champion, playing with the white pieces, and he'll be looking to score his first win. But the other game to watch out for tomorrow is the All India clash, Hari Krishna against Adiban.